Hi my angels, and welcome back to my channel. So I am traveling so much this week that I wanted to sit down and film a video, and I thought what better video to film than my updated foundation routine and go-to makeup look. It's nothing different out of the ordinary than what I'm used to doing, but I thought I would show you guys all the products that I'm loving and also all the different products that I'm using and loving at the moment. Every single time I post a picture on Instagram where I'm just wearing my go-to base routine and go-to face routine, I get so many questions asking me to recreate the look. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I kid you not, I keep this little makeup bag, well, it's pretty big, but I keep this makeup bag on the go, and these are my go-to products, and I feel like I can just paint my face with my eyes closed using all these products. So that's what I'm going to show you guys, and then put everything back in here because I need this for when I'm traveling this week. Genuinely, I have no idea where I put my beauty blender, so I just went and got a fresh one out ready to film. And the first thing I'm going to do is prep my skin. I feel like I spend forever prepping my skin, and I put loads of products on. It works for my skin. If it doesn't work for you, you totally don't have to do what I'm doing. But I am taking this Sunday Riley Tidal Moisturizer. This helps with kind of evening out your skin tone, which is why I really like it. I do actually need to put some SPF on as well, but my SPF is in my little skincare travel thing that I take with me everywhere. So we're just going to pretend that I put my SPF on today. But the one that I do love using is the Kiehl's SPF. It's the Ultra Facial Moisturizer in SPF 30. I love that. I actually love all the Kiehl's moisturizers, but that one is my favorite for SPF. I hate these little baby hairs that always stick out. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times I try and push it in there, it always wants to stick out. Can't see that now. So, okay, so that's the first moisturizer that I use. And, oh, I do actually have my Kiehl's Ultra Light Daily UV Defense. It is tinted, so I am going to use this, but I'm only going to use the tiniest amount. But before we do that, I am actually going to take my Bobbi Brown face base. This is almost finished. I'm scraping the pot here, but I find that this works really, really well if you're using a super matte foundation, and I am going to be using matte foundations today, so I thought this is best on my skin. So I'm just going to get some of this on there, and this smells so good as well. I've been using this for years, and it's just a moisturizer that does never fail me. So I'm taking my car for its first MOT today. The struggle is real. Every single time I have to do anything to my car, I always get this anxiety that something's gonna go wrong. And I think that's because when I was younger, I had the worst car. It was older than me, and every single time I'd go and get it fixed or get the MOT done or get a service done, I used to pay a ridiculous amount to have it fixed, and it was always worth more than the car. And that just, yeah, it still haunts me to this day, so fingers crossed my MOT all goes well. So yeah, I've got 2 layers of moisturizer on my face. Totally unnecessary, but I personally love it. I'm going to take some of the Kiehl's Butter Mask. This I think is my second pot. It's so good. Before we move on to primer, I'm just going to whack a little bit of this Kiehl's CC Defense on my face. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, as you can see. You can totally get away with wearing this on the days you really don't want to wear any foundation, but I'm just going to pretend this is just not tinted and use it as my SPF. Now I just look like an oily mess, but I promise you it's going to get better. For my primer, I am still using my primer trick, and that is using the All Nighter Setting Spray by Urban Decay. This one is almost finished. This is the cherry one. It smells so good, but let's just finish this off, and then I can move on to my other bottle. Oh, it's struggling. Oh, the struggle bus. Oh, this really is struggling. Okay, we're going to leave it as that. And this one is going to go in the recycling, but I am very quickly going to give it a proper spritz. There we go. That's much better. So my primer is all done, and I'm going to let that sit for a little bit while I talk you through my kind of foundation routine. So I love going in with this by Terry CC Cellular Rose Serum. It's kind of like a bronzing serum. I actually wear this on its own on my skin with a bit of concealer on the days where I just don't really want to wear makeup. This just gives a beautiful glow to the skin. It is ridiculously expensive. I'm trying to find a dupe, but when I do come across one, I will definitely let you guys know. But I love, love, love wearing this on its own, mixed in with foundation or put on before foundation. Generally what I've been doing, I got a piece of fluff in my mouth. Generally what I like doing is I love mixing this into my foundation, and that's because it just speeds up the process of me getting ready in the morning. I can do this face in like 11 minutes. And when I'm not talking and rambling, I'm really like super quick at doing it. So we are going to be mixing this in to our foundation. I've been using a mixture of foundations and my skin is nice and prepped. One of the reasons why I like to make sure it's prepped with really good moisturizers and also that I've exfoliated beforehand is because I'm still obsessing over the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. This is in the shade Buff. And it's pretty much my winter colour. I just love the way this sits on my skin. It lasts so well on my skin, but it is quite full coverage and it is quite matte, which is why I like prepping my skin beforehand. But what I am going to do is, I think I'm going to mix some of the Fenty foundation in there as well. This is in the shade 290. The reason why I like mixing them is because I just love mixing foundations because I feel like they just last so much better and look so much better on my skin. And if you guys haven't tried this at home, just mix two of your favorite foundations together and just see what a dream it is. So I am just going to get all three of these onto my hand. I think I'm actually going to add a little bit of the Drunk Elephant Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil to it as well, just to give it a little bit more of a fluidy texture. And this will also mean that it doesn't dry super quick on the skin as well. So what I do is I get my By Terry and I do about 2 pumps of that. So that's kind of like the main ingredient. Then I take a pump of the NYX and then a pump of the Fenty. Actually, 2 pumps of the Fenty because I find that that's quite a different size pump to the NYX one. And then I'm just going to get a couple of drops of the Virgin Marula oil. Oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Literally, foundation is dripping on my hand, but I've been loving the Farsali Skin Tune. Right, we're gonna do this somehow. So I'm just gonna kind of mix everything and scoop it up with my beauty blender. So my foundation's ready to go and we are gonna quickly just get a little bit of this on our skin. I find that this just really minimizes my pores and my foundation just sits really beautifully on my skin, almost like it's been airbrushed. I mean, I'm sure this, yeah, it's called Skin Tune, so it's kind of like you're giving your skin a face tune filter to it. And I love putting this on. I've almost finished my bottle and I absolutely love it. And the best thing to do is when you've put so much stuff on your face, just work in thin layers and let it sit there if you really feel like you want your skin to soak it up. So I've got all the product there on my beauty blender, and I'm just going to dot it like this, and then I'm just going to start blending this into the skin. And I've still got loads of product on the back of my hand, so I'm just going to pick more of this up when I feel like I need it. You just get a good amount of coverage because both the foundations that I've used are quite full coverage, so you don't need like a crazy amount of product. And that, you guys, is my foundation done. I know it's pretty long-winded, but I find that this just looks so beautiful on the skin, and because the foundations that I've used, they've got a really good lasting power for my skin, I feel like I don't really need to touch up during the day as well. So now on to concealer, and I have genuinely still been loving the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is in the shade Porcelain, which is quite light, but I love the way that this looks underneath my eyes and just on my skin. I have tried the Huda Beauty concealer, but I find that it settles into my fine lines, like under my eyes. I don't have that many fine lines under my eyes, but I feel like it accentuates them, which is really weird because I've never really got along with her base products. So maybe her base products just don't work for my skin. I don't know, but maybe I could do like a comparison video of like this concealer on one side and the Huda concealer on the other, because I find that this one just lasts and looks so much better on my skin. These are the places that I put it on. Take the pointy end of my beauty blender and just start blending away. And I like bringing it up. Oh, by the way, I took my nose stud out. I basically had it done for my wedding because I didn't want to be constantly pushing like a fake nose ring up my nose the whole time. And also it would just still cause me problems. It would still randomly get, not infected, but it would just hurt randomly. I know, it just sounds really weird, but yeah, I got rid of it. I'm glad that I did it. I may do it again, but right now I'm quite happy with my nose being piercing free. But I thought I would give you guys that update. I find that this concealer definitely oxidizes. Maybe that's why I love the Porcelain shade. But as you can see, it's all blended out. One thing I know that you guys hate is that I don't put any concealer or foundation or anything on my eyelids. but by the time I'm done with my makeup, it's gonna look like I'm wearing eyeshadow. And if anyone else out there has pigmented eyelids, just leave them, like don't cover them up, and it basically is a quick little hack and can make you look like you're wearing eyeshadow when you're really not. Okay, so we're just going to set everything again one more time using the All Nighter setting spray, and this is just going to lock all of that in place. I'm going to grab my setting powder brush. This is from Backstage Beauty. It's such a nice shape because it fits into my under eyes really nicely. So I'm just going to make sure everything is nice and blended, and then I'm going to start and I'm just going to set that area. And because this foundation is quite matte, I'm not going to bother setting all the other areas. I'm just going to leave my skin peeking through. Do you know what, you guys? I'm so excited to film my favorites video this month. There have been so many products that I've been loving that I cannot wait to share with you guys. So that will be coming up soon. Then I'm going to try and do some Diwali makeup looks as well. I want to do some drugstore ones, some like super glam ones. Gone through so many of these. I don't know whether I mentioned this, but this is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder from Charlotte Tilbury. It's amazing. I've been using it for years and it never fails me. So that's all of that set, and we're going to move on to bronzer. So for bronzer, I'm just using none other than my Hoola bronzer. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Powder and Sculpt brush. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I'm just going to start warming up the face. I like to start at my cheeks, like so. Same thing on this cheek. And then I like to take it underneath my jawline, and then also like joining the two here. And then my hairline. There are days where I will go quite heavy with the bronzer, depending on like my hair and what I'm wearing and like the jewelry that I've decided to wear that day. Today I'm going to keep it pretty like medium toned. And then for the quickest nose contour of my life, I'm just going to get the brush that comes with Hoola, and I'm just going to hug the sides of my nose like this. And then I like to brush it up into the eyebrows, just so that everything looks nice and like connected. And then if it's looking too cray, I just go over with my little beauty blender butt, and it just mutes everything down. Blush time! I personally really like blush. I love wearing it. I just love wearing it. I feel like it gives me such an awake, youthful look. And the one that I've been loving at the moment is called Chai, and it's from Laura Mercier. So good. It's so creamy. It doesn't look powdery on the skin. And this particular colour looks like my cheeks are naturally flushed. It doesn't really look like I'm wearing that much blush, if you know what I mean. And if it is, it just looks like my cheeks are naturally flushed like that. So I love this shade. Sometimes I do go quite heavy on it, but I'm just going to keep it again quite neutral and nothing too crazy. Highlight time. I'm going to take the A23 brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Love this brush. It gives more of an intense highlight. Maybe I'll show you the two different ways actually. So I'm going to use this Sephora fan brush, which is my favorite fan brush of life. It is so good. And the highlighter of choice I'm using is Oh Darling from MAC. Mine actually cracked a little bit down here, and I like squidged it back in there because I was like, you are not going anywhere because I love you so much. So I'm going to take this on my fan brush just so I can show you what the two different brushes do. So when I just want like a super like subtle glow, I will go in with this fan brush like this, and it just helps diffuse everything out, and it just looks all seamless, and you can really like brush it into like your brows and all those areas. With the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, you can get it like really saturated. I get it saturated on one side of the brush, and then I start concentrating it where I want it to really kind of shine. So as you can see, that is way more intense than the other side. I will even them both out. So this is the side with the fan brush, and this is the side with the ABH A23 brush. So it's a little bit more intense on this side, but I am going to make everything look the same. And then also a little bit on just kind of like the bridge bit of my nose, like right near my eyebrows and like halfway down. I don't like to do the Tin Man thing. I just kind of leave it as that, because then it brings like this part of my nose, like makes it look like higher up. If I'm feeling bougie, I will put a little bit of the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist on, and I just concentrate that on the top parts of my face, so it hits like the highlighted areas. This is how I generally leave my skin. I don't powder the rest of my skin. I let it kind of look like this. And as you can tell, it looks quite glowy and dewy, and that is because I have prepped my skin quite a lot, and I did also add this virgin marula oil from Drunk Elephant. I'm so glad that Drunk Elephant is finally in the UK. I know it is a bit of an expensive skincare range, which is why Space NK is the best place to go if you want to actually try the products, feel the products, smell the products, because they are very, very unique. There's no nasties in them. You can actually mix every single product like as a cocktail in your hand. So you can put like your serum with your moisturizer, with your oil, with your whatever you want, mix it all together and whack it on your face. I love that about Drunk Elephant, and I'm just so glad it's finally here in the UK. That is why my skin is looking quite dewy, because you guys are probably like, you have used 2 full coverage matte foundations, why is your skin looking like that? And it is because of the skin prep. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the rest of the face, which is like 2 or 3 more different things. What I've been doing recently is I go in with my mascara on my eyelashes first before doing my brows, because that means that there's enough time for it to dry before I put my lashes on. Lashes isn't an everyday thing, but if I am out and about, like in London at meetings, I will put lashes on. I am taking some Instagram pictures after this video, so I wanted to put some lashes on, so we are gonna do the whole lash thing. Okay, so I want to show you guys my 2 favorite mascaras of the moment. This one here is the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara. I was so shook at what this does to my lashes. It makes them look like they are like twice as long and twice as thick. I don't wear it on my lower lashes because I do find that it transfers, but another really amazing mascara that I've been loving is also the NARS Climax mascara. I'm going to use this one just because I love this, and then I can use this on my bottom lashes, but I love what this does to my lashes. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. I don't really use it like this, although you can kind of like bend the wand. I just use it straight because I'm just so used to using a straight handle, but I'm just going to go straight in and start adding some layers of a mascara. So this is as far as I would go, but you can clearly see here just how like big and voluminous and curled up and thick my lashes look on this side compared to this side. This side literally looks like I have no lashes, but we're going to do the same thing and add some mascara on this side as well. Both my eyes are done with mascara, but I am going to add some of NARS Climax onto my lower lash line very quickly. Unlike my no falsies days, I'm quite happy to just kind of leave my eyelashes like this. And also you can see now, because I don't have any foundation on my eyelids, it kind of looks like I'm wearing a little bit of eyeshadow. So win-win situation there. I'm very quickly going to fill my brows in. Where are you? I'm very quickly going to fill my brows in. Here I'm using Spiked Eyebrow Styler from MAC. I go through the hairs with a spoolie first, like so. My brows are microbladed, so all I do is, all the areas where there's been foundation covered up, I just kind of go in and clean everything up and make things look a little bit neater. So this is like the quickest part of my makeup routine. Giving them a quick set with my Benefit Gimme Brow. This is in the shade number 3. And lipstick wise, I'm going to leave a list of lipsticks that I just love wearing on a day-to-day basis, but today I'm going to go in with Fenty's Uncuffed Liquid Lipstick. Every single time I wear this or have worn this, I've had so many compliments and questions as to what I'm wearing, and I just love the shade of this. It's so comfortable to wear. It's like my lips but better. Is it me, or does that look darker than before? I don't know why, but I always feel like it looks a lot darker after I put it on. I'm going to very quickly go over the edges with Spice Lip Liner from MAC. Do you know what, guys? This would not be a video of mine if I don't mix 2 colours of lipsticks together, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take my favorite lipstick. This is the lipstick that I wore on my wedding day. Oh my god, it looks so dirty, but this is the YSL Tatouage Liquid Lipstick in the shade number 7. It really is the best like nude for me, and it's just going to make the lips a little bit lighter. Perfecto. Now it's time to wear some lashes. I'm going to wear some dramatic ones today. I just love me some glam. So I'm going to take these Tati lashes. These are in the style TL4. When I saw them in the pack, I was like, these look huge. But by the time I got them onto my eyelids, I was shook. I was like, these actually look so pretty and so fluttery. And again, every single time I've worn these, I've gotten compliments or questions saying, where are your eyelashes from? So we're going to go with these, and the glue of choice. I'm just going to first take away all the old glue on the band. I have to be really careful when I do this because the amount of times I've broken eyelashes when I have been taking the glue off. Okay, that's done. I'm going to do the same to the other one. So the glue of choice I'm using is the Huda Beauty Lash Glue. This stuff is hardcore. It is... Ooh. This has actually ripped out a lot of my natural lashes. Less is more with this. You don't need a lot of this on the lash band. And then I'm going to attempt to try and show you exactly how I put them on. So I have legit got this mirror like right here in front of me. And I'm kind of like looking down onto it so I can kind of get this band straight behind my lashes. So I'm just going to give this a bit of a wave. Okay, so I'm going to get my Anastasia Beverly Hills tweezers. Make sure there's no glue on like the pointy picky bit. So I'm going to take that on one corner and then I'm going to use my hands on the outer corner, and I'm basically going to tuck these in behind my natural lashes and push the outer and inner corners onto my lash, like my natural lash. And this eye, 9 times out of 10, loves to water. So I've got some tissue right here. I'm going to soak that right up. But look how dramatic that is. It's so beautiful. I love these lashes. So while this one's drying, I'm going to get glue on the second lash. And then doing the same thing with this lash. So I get the tweezers on one end and then hold the inner part on the inner end. And then I just plonk them on as close to my lash line as possible. And make sure both of the ends are like pushed into where my actual natural lash line is. So it's got something to stick onto. And this is what they look like on. Very like OTT glam, but I just find that this again hides my eyelids so I can get away with not wearing any kind of eyeshadow. But I just love the shape of these. I think they're so glamorous. I think they're so like big and fluffy. And they're super affordable as well. So these are the eyelashes done. And there's one last thing that I do to finish off the whole look. And that is I get this Hourglass retractable, actually it's called the Mechanical Gel Eyeliner. And this is the black shade. This is so good. It's so creamy. But what I do is I just kind of colour in my upper lash line. And I find that whenever I do this, it looks like I'm wearing eyeliner, but I'm not really. So I'm going to do the same thing on this eye as well. And this, you guys, is the final look. This is literally my go-to makeup look. When I'm not talking and I'm not blabbering, I can do this in like 11, maybe 12 minutes. And yeah, I just love it. It's just very fresh. I can change up the lip colour to any lip colour. I can wear a bright lip colour. I can wear like a super deep, dark autumnal winter colour. And I can always switch like my lashes up and kind of make it more like glam or like less glam, depending on what I'm doing and where I'm going. But this is basically what I put on my face every single day. And by every single day, I don't actually mean every single day, because a lot of the times I'm makeup free. People think that I don't leave my house with no makeup on. I love being makeup free. So always make sure to give your skin some rest days where you're not putting anything on it. But this is my go-to glam. This is, oh wait, hang on. I forgot one thing. One thing I do like to do is I like to take my Kevyn Aucoin Sculpt Powder and I very slightly hit the backs of where my contour would be, like so. It is quite a grey powder, so it kind of adds a shadow, and then I just go over with my bronzer brush to mute that down, just to add a little bit more shadow to my face. But now that really is my final kind of go-to makeup look and foundation routine and makeup routine. I've loved filming this look. I've had so many questions from you guys asking me to recreate the looks that you see on my Instagram, and 9 times out of 10 it is literally this face. So I hope I've given you some sort of inspiration for like a very, for me, this is like daytime glam. And I hope that's helped you guys out. I really would love if you guys leave me comments below and let me know what your makeup routine is like at the moment, what your favorite products are, and what you're really loving at the moment to paint your face with. And that's not just for me, but that's for everyone reading it, because I would love it if we could inspire and help other people within our internet family here on YouTube, because I know obviously not a lot of these products are available all over the world, and I know I have a lot of viewers from all around the world, so please do share, because sharing is caring. But one last spritz. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope you guys liked this makeup look. That I think is all from me for now, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!